Hello everyone, this is Colleen Lemma, Starseed Astrologer and Spiritual Messenger from SacredSoulEmpowerment.com, here to do your weekly angel card reading for Monday, August 17th through Sunday, August 23rd, 2015. So for this weekly reading, we're going to be using Doreen Virtue's Angel Tarot cards, and I decided to use a different deck for the special message card. I have so many different decks, and a lot of the times I do use Doreen Virtue's different decks for those special message cards, but the angels guided me to use a tarot deck that I haven't used before in any of the weekly readings, but it's one of my favorite tarot decks, and it's called the Vision Quest Tarot by Guyan, Sylvie Winter, and Joe Dosey. So I hope you like this new deck, and let's take a look really quickly at what your stones of choice for that special message card this week is going to be. The first stone of choice is called Shattuckite, and Shattuckite is a spiritual stone. It vibrates to the third eye chakra as well as the throat chakra. It's for clear psychic vision as well as channeling. Now, when I give you the descriptions of these stones, and really for any of the stones that I use in all of my monthly and weekly angel card readings, there's definitely way more descriptions and information available. So if you want more information on any of these stones, you should look it up on the internet, or there's a wonderful book called Love is in the Earth. It's a crystal guidebook, as well as the Crystal Bible is also a wonderful book and a resource for information on the stones. Your second stone of choice is Larimar, and I just got this piece of Larimar recently, and I'm very excited about it. It's my first piece of Larimar, and I've always wanted Larimar. This helps to heal past life issues, especially those that deal with heart chakra, as well as relationship types of issues. Again, it's a very spiritual stone. It helps to open you up to new dimensions. It raises your consciousness. It has an angelic connection to it, and it's a very empowering stone. Okay, and then your last stone of choice, again, a very spiritual and high vibrational stone. This is Moldavite. This is just a very small piece of Moldavite, and it's very rare. It's of extraterrestrial origin. It came from a meteor that crashed on the planet many, many, many years ago. It's considered an amulet of good fortune. It's got a connection to your higher self communication, as well as the ascended masters. So again, you got Shattuckite here, Larimar, and Moldavite as your stones of choice. Now, as far as the astrological information, and don't forget, you should also take a listen to, if you haven't already, for the monthly reading for August, which is also on my YouTube channel. But for this week, the 17th through the 23rd, there's not a lot going on, but I feel like, again, we have important stuff going on, as we always do. We're always in a time period of moving forward and empowering ourselves and making changes and redirections in our lives. Now, as we get into next month is going to be particularly interesting because we're going to be entering the eclipse season. So again, this month of August in general I felt was a turning point, as I discussed in the monthly angel card reading. I feel like it's a turning point internally, and well, as well as externally, but a lot of internal belief systems, redirections going on this month. And I feel like as we move into September, we're going to see a lot more happening on an empowering level with circumstances in our lives and with ourselves. But we're getting ahead of ourselves. If we look at this week's astrology, we look at Wednesday the 19th. That's really the first day this week that has some sort of a major connection with the planets going on. So on Wednesday the 19th, we have the planet Venus, which rules both our money and finances, as well as our values, but it also rules love and relationships, the divine feminine principle. And this planet on Wednesday is going to be in a positive aspect to the planet Uranus. But Uranus is a planet that brings the sudden and unexpected changes. It brings sudden redirections and surprises. And this is a positive aspect, and I feel like it is definitely positive energy, but sometimes some of us out there aren't as open to surprising energies or surprising redirections as others. So, prepare yourself in the beginning of the week and just be open to whatever these surprises and redirections are. Now, this to me is about freedom within relationships. It's about owning that divine feminine power in a positive way. It's about even some redirections within our relationships, or again within our money and finances, to where there's going to be something that comes in that is unexpected. Now again, this is of the highest vibration. This is kind of channeling through that higher vibrational energy, again, of freedom and individuality and being independent. And remember, Venus is retrograde in the sign of Leo right now, so she is trying to decipher and decide what is in her highest and best interest when it comes to love and relationships, as well as what's in her highest and best interest when it comes to money and financial situations. As we move towards Friday the 21st, we have the Sun, which is in its last couple of days in the sign of Leo, and it's in a challenging aspect to Saturn. And Saturn is still in Scorpio until the middle of September, just after the middle of September. So this is really about us owning our own internal light. It's about shining that light, not being disempowered. There might be some issues with authority. There might be some things going on with your sense of self and how you feel worthy of certain blessings in your life, or dealing again with authority figures in your life. Because the Sun is our sense of self, and it's our individuality. And a lot of times Saturn deals with authority. And again, because it's in Scorpio, we're dealing with some lessons of disempowerment. We're dealing with things that are kept secret from us that we're not aware of. And again, the Sun, still being in Leo, wants to shine its light. It wants to be creative. It wants to be self-expressive. It wants to be generous and fun-loving. So with that challenging aspect to Saturn, it might be just a little bit of a difficult time period there. On the next day, Saturday, the Moon is in Scorpio, and it comes up to meet Saturn in Scorpio, and then it goes on to challenge the Sun, and then later in the day on Saturday it moves into the sign of Sagittarius, which is much more upbeat and optimistic, but then it comes into a challenging aspect with Jupiter, which is newly in Virgo. So that's quite a mouthful of information that's going on Saturday. So what I feel here is that, again, we're going to be going through a purging, I feel like, on an emotional level, while the Moon is still in Scorpio and comes up to meet with Saturn and challenge the Sun. So we're going through, again, some disempowering energies and purging a lot of that on the emotional and energetic level. Now, as the Moon later on Saturday moves into the sign of Sagittarius, we might feel definitely a lightness and an upliftment with our emotions and our feelings. But then it challenges Jupiter, and Jupiter is all about our belief systems, and the sign of Sagittarius, which the Moon will be in, is also about our belief system. So I feel like we're going to be going through looking at what our beliefs are on that day and maybe adjusting what it is that we believe. And some of that is going to come from what happens with the Moon in Scorpio connecting with Saturn and the Sun earlier that day. So I feel like maybe what we thought was true, or what we believed was true, or who we believed in, or what we believed in, some of that's going to be changing throughout the day. And again, never to look at any of this as a negative, but just to be aware of the energies, because the energies, the universe, our own higher self is trying to teach us something, and it's there to empower us to own our truth, which is another key word for Sagittarius, is our truth. It's the truth seeker. So we're seeking our truth, and we might have to adjust our belief systems in order to find that truth. And then as we move on to the last day, Sunday, The sun is now moving out of the sign of Leo, and it's moving into the sign of Virgo, which is where Mercury is. So we're going to start having this shift of all this Leo energy that we had a couple, 2-3 weeks ago, and everything's going to start shifting now into that earth sign of Virgo. We still have Mars in Leo, but now we have the sun by the 23rd that's moving into Virgo, and Mercury is in Virgo as well. So again, we kind of have a half and a half thing, because Venus and Mars is still going to be in Leo for a little while, and the Sun and Mercury are in Virgo. So there's some practical things we have to take care of, some details we have to take care of with that Virgo and energy, but we still want to shine our light, we still want to be creative, we still want to have fun with that Leo energy. Okay, so let's go ahead and pull our cards to find out what the angel's message is for us for this week. So we're going to give these a little bit of a shuffle, and we're going to call in all of our angels and guides, master guides, teachers, the archangels of the highest vibration of light, for whatever message it is that we're supposed to be aware of for this weekly reading. Oops, and again, I guess that one wants to come out. And you might have already saw that. Okay, and I feel like I want to pull a last card here, and I'm wondering, I'm going to pull that one. You know what, I'm going to pull this one too. So we're going to have lots of cards to look at here. And let's start out by looking at the first card of the week. This is the Three of Earth. The Three of Earth says the power of creativity, recognition for very high quality work, and be a team player. Now, the Earth cards are the practical cards, which vibrates to that Virgo kind of energy. But the three kind of relates to that Leo energy of wanting to expand and grow and shine our light and be creative. So, that's kind of an interesting combination of energies here. We're needing to give birth to or expand our creative self-expression. We're supposed to grow into what it is that we desire, but we have to take the steps towards doing that. So we have to kind of take matters into our own hands and be practical about it and take some steps to kind of make it happen. Just like it says, the power of creativity. So your sense of creativity here, and this isn't just on a mind level, this is on a physical level again. So by taking forth the creative ideas you have, but taking practical steps towards them, making movement to manifest things, this is how we want to start out our week. We want to start out our week by giving birth to, because to me the butterfly is always about giving new birth. So we want to give birth to some form of creative efforts in this week. Let's take a look at what the second card of the week is. Second card of the week is the Five of Water, and it says things not turning out the way that you had hoped, not seeing the positive in a situation, and crying over spilt milk. Now the water cards are about our emotions and feelings here. So the 5 is usually about chaotic or unstable energies. In this case, it's chaotic and unstable emotions. And I really feel that this does relate to Friday and Saturday's astrological energies of the Sun squaring Saturn, again, which is about our individuality, creative self-expression, shining our light, but again, dealing with feeling held back in some way, or some sort of karmic lessons that are at play, or some sort of disempowering situation that you might be in. And then, of course, on Saturday, we had that Moon and Scorpio meeting up with Saturn and the Sun, and then later on going into Sagittarius and challenging Jupiter. So I just feel like, we're going through some sort of emotional thing. I feel like probably the middle to the latter part of the week as we get into the weekend. So whatever it is that we're trying to do this week, I think the best time so far is that beginning of the week, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday here even, as we're kind of letting our creativity expand and take some steps towards giving birth to something new. Now, again, this 5 of Water, I feel like it's just a purging, it's a clearing. There's something still on the energetic and emotional level here that we are needing to clear. So call in the healers of the light, call in Archangel Michael to pull the cords and allow you to release. Now, this isn't, again, it's not a negative thing. We still have things as we're evolving, as we're transforming, as we're, growing in consciousness. We have things on the energetic level while Saturn is still in Scorpio, especially, that we're needing to clear. And this is just an emotional clearing that's taking place. Towards the end of the week, we have the Nine of Fire. Now, the Nine of Fire says, don't give up. Protect that which you created. Have courage and believe in yourself. So that message fits in perfectly to what we just said with that Five of Water, is whatever is going on there Friday and Saturday, don't give up. Keep moving forward. Have courage. Believe in yourself. Stand up for what you believe. Just keep pushing ahead. This is a card of fire, which is spirit and creative energy. And the number 9, it's the last of the single digits before we get to the number 10, which is a double digit. So we're getting to the end of something. We're getting to the end of some sort of, to me, I feel like we're getting to the end of clearing a lot of things that we need to clear. But, we're getting to the end of feeling like we have it to keep pushing and pushing and pushing and pushing, and maybe not feeling like we're getting anywhere fast. And again, what I feel like they're saying right now to me is that that's that end of that energy of feeling like we're spinning our wheels somewhat, or that energy of feeling like, we have to keep on trying really hard to manifest what it is that we desire. I feel like that has a lot to do with the Saturn and Scorpio here. And so after mid-September, when it goes into Sagittarius, we're going to feel a lot lighter. We're going to feel a lot brighter. We're going to feel like things are going to start falling into place a little bit easier. Now, there's always going to be things or energies that we're needing to move through, but as far as the energy of clearing out disempowering emotions or belief systems or perhaps even circumstances or relationships, the majority of that is going to be done while Saturn is still in that sign of Scorpio till just after mid-September. Now let's take a look at, I chose 2 more cards for the week. So again, another card of completion. This is the Ten of Air. It says the end of a difficult situation, embrace the change and expect things to get better now, recovering from an addiction, or I want to even say recovering from a circumstance or situation that's been disempowering. Again, this is the mental level now. So, we're clearing a lot on the mental and the emotional level, and we're getting to the end of something that we no longer need to hold on to or keep. And just as the angels and the guides say here, it's time to embrace change. Okay, you're getting to the end of things that are difficult. Let's look at this other card as well. Perfect. Beautiful way to end this reading. The Knight of Fire says passionate, adventurous, self-assured, and restless. A sudden event that needs immediate attention. Time is of the essence. Think things through carefully. Now, to me, this is a really passionate energy. This is creative, this is passionate, this is spiritual, this is, just like it says, adventurous. It's an energy that really wants to propel us and move us forward. And although I'm feeling, and what they're saying to me is that it's not necessarily that you're going to feel this energy this week. Now, you may feel the energy this week, but I feel like more so, this is an energy that we're moving towards. This horse, you can see, is kind of moving forward, and the direction it's facing would indicate the future. So we're moving to this energy in the very near future. And this is going to, again, maybe not this week, but there's going to be an event, a situation, a circumstance, an energy within us that wants to propel us forward. There's going to be some sort of change that needs to be made. And when it comes about, it may need to be made quickly. Again, I don't feel like it's necessarily this week, but you're feeling it coming. You're feeling that you're on the precipice or the edge of something that's coming, these good changes and movement forward that's coming. And that's what I feel that we have to look forward to. Okay, let's take a look at what your special message card is depending on your stone of choice. So again, I have the Vision Quest Tarot deck. This is a Native American tarot deck. And as you see, I have my Native American feathers back here with my pottery with the wolf on it. I really vibrate to the Native American energy. And so we're going to give these a shuffle here And call in again angels, archangels, ascended masters, to bring forth that special message that's in your highest and best interest according to your stone of choice. And that first stone, if you chose the Shaddakite. Let's see, the Shaddakite people. Okay, that one wanted to come out. I was going to go for that one, but this one was coming out, so we're going with this one. The Ace of Water. Okay, now the Ace of Water, the aces are always about new beginnings, and the water is about our emotions and our feelings. So in this case, we have a new beginning with the way we're going to feel, a new beginning with the way that we emotionally express ourselves or emotionally feel about things. And this is a positive thing. The ace is always a positive new beginning. So I feel like this is after that Five of Water, Friday and Saturday, that clearing out of whatever that old emotional energy is. It might be related to something that you're consciously aware of. It might be something that you're not consciously aware of. It might have to do with even a past life situation. But I feel like after that is over with, you come into a new sense of feeling, a sense of relief, a sense of things flowing. If you can see this here, this actually has a piece of pottery, and there's a river flowing down and around and over top of that piece of pottery. So it's showing that there's a good flow of emotional energy, a good flow of feelings that are going to come in. And I just think that's a really, really positive card for you, because that means you're definitely purging something that you no longer need on the emotional level. And then for those of you that chose the Larimar, okay, let's just give this a little bit more of a shuffle here and just kind of looking. Larimar people, the Son of Fire. This is kind of interesting because as I was shuffling and meditating with this deck earlier, this card kept falling out or popping out, and I just assumed it was a message for me, but it's also a message for the Larimar people. The Son of Fire. In this deck, the Sun is the Knight suit, the Knight court card. So this is the Knight of Fire, and isn't that interesting? Because really, this is the Knight of Fire back here. We have the Knight of Fire here is where we're moving towards, and now we have the Knight of Fire or the Son of Fire here. So again, there's passionate, high vibrational energy movement that's happening here. Fire is creativity, it's spiritual movement. So again, we're moving towards some sort of creative expansion or creative self-expression. When I look at the picture on this card, this Native American, this knight or the sun here, he looks very confident. He's just very secure and confident in what's going on with him on a spiritual level. And I'm just taking a little bit more of a look here to see what I can see. And I actually see a rock here that has some drawn, it's almost like hieroglyphics, but it's not hieroglyphics. It's actually like horses. Some of the horses are by themselves. One of them here has a rider on it. But to me, the carvings in the rock means messages. I feel like there's some sort of messages from spirit that are coming to you. But because it's written in the rock or carved into the rock, I feel like it's of a more practical, earthly level. In other words, I'm feeling like these messages are going to come through some sort of communication with another person. It's going to come through you actually physically, seeing something or coming into contact with a person or situation. So some sort of real grounded, practical messages that are coming your way. Now, I feel like here, too, he's working on creating something, but he's not hurried about it. And although the Son of Fire usually is a card that indicates moving forward quickly, he's also being very careful and thoughtful about what he's doing. He's very secure in what he's doing. So as you move forward, you also are going to be creatively expressing yourself, working on something, but very sure, and I want to say careful as well, as you are working on manifesting whatever this is. Okay, and then for those of you that chose the Moldavite people, I'm just kind of looking for a card here, and I'm going to choose this one. Moldavite people, it says Five of Fire. Now, this is a spiritual card, and the 5 of fire, it says stress on the bottom. So I feel like it doesn't necessarily have to be stressful. What they're saying is I really feel what's going on here is there's a lot of change on a spiritual and energetic level that's going on. And I feel like because of all these changes, now some of the changes might be things that are in your environment or with other people in relationships, but I feel like it's more on a spiritual and energetic level. So I feel like there's conflicting energies maybe, or just confusion and not knowing which direction to go or what to do or what decision to make, and it's causing a lot of stress for you on an internal level. So I feel like the best thing that you can do here is to do things that are grounding, because again, this is fire, and fire can be very chaotic. So you want to get out in nature, stand on the earth in your bare feet, do a meditation, do some yoga, do something that's going to be grounding so that the spiritual energies don't seem so chaotic. They're saying to me that those of you that chose this card, that some of it is because you're very spiritually sensitive, and there's energies going on with the collective of humanity, there's energies going on in the planet, and even energies perhaps with family and friends, people around you, that's a little bit unstable. So you're picking up on some of these other spiritual energies, and it's causing you to be a little bit off kilter, a little bit stressed out. So again, do what you can to kind of rein in that energy or ground that energy in the best possible way so that you can be centered and clear. And again, know that it is a time of releasing. So I want to say pull cords too. They're saying call in your angels and healers of the light to pull some of those energy cords. Even if you don't know exactly where they're stemming from or coming from, have them pull the cords between you and this chaotic energy so that you can move forward more clear and balanced. So I hope you've liked this weekly angel card reading. I want to take a moment and thank all of you for all of your wonderful comments, your sharing of my Facebook posts and my YouTube videos. Those of you that have signed up for my services on sacredsoulempowerment.com. If I can help those of you out there in any way with a reading or a long-distance healing service, a soul guidance session package, or a soul healing, please check out those services in the descriptions on sacredsoulempowerment.com. I send you all many, many blessings. I'm very grateful and thankful for all of you. Please remember that. Please know that and feel that. And until next week, sending you much love and light.